by the title, which is going to be put up since I'm live streaming this. I haven't actually prepared, but anyways, the video will be about what do you call it? The Patriot Millspec, the Nightshark, and the Insurgent, and these are the newest, how do you say, heavy military vehicles. Millspec being the newest, Nightshark being somewhere in the middle, and the Insurgent being the oldest. So we will be comparing them.
I guess weeding out trouble never goes out of style. How, muchacho?
And I guess I would like a redwood.
Join us next time for more adventures with Gordon, Molly, and the gang as they protect America's atomic secrets by setting some off. Only on Moorhead Rise Again!
Pablo Rebazar makes $28 million a year. Dwayne Aller makes $35 million a year. You make $10 an hour. Failure this deep calls for a deep, slow brewed beer. Lager, the official beer of American baseball. These guys are at the top of their game. You're at the bottom. Relive your glory days. Have a lager.
Bored? Stupid? How about a fulfilling career as a stunt double? To break into Vinewood, you just might have to break through a windshield. Cunning Stunt Academy is San Andreas' oldest accredited stunt school. We have classes in high-speed accidents, taking a baseball bat to the face, getting shot, knifed in the back, falling off a building on fire, and getting run over. If you make it through our course, you are ready for the big screen.
Make dull and vain famous people look cool by dressing up as them and risking your life and future health. Then, have your face digitally removed on a green screen.
The Cunning Stunt Academy trains women too.
Ooh.
Have a nice rack? Vinewood needs stunt tits to show when an A-list celebrity is too bashful or has pancake nipples. The Cunning Stunt Academy. Fame. It's worth any price.
What happens when man's best friend becomes dinner? Dude Eat Dog, the reality cooking show that will have you looking at Fido in whole new, delicious ways. It's Bow Wow Chow, Dude Eat Dog on CNT.
Welcome to Los Santos, the city of celluloid, sin, and cellulite removal. From dead starlets in Vinewood, to the gangbangers in Davis and Strawberry, and Terracels and Chumash, to the drunken tourists in Del Perro Pier. It's time to take a look inside this cesspit of destroyed dreams, drug-addled degenerates, and deluded desperados that make up this great city.
Okay, thank you for waiting for the short period of time. I just had to change around the title and everything. But anyways, let's get on with the actual review itself.
Dreams too often become wet with tears.
I can already tell someone out there's probably likely, well, it's probably not gonna happen, but I did not include the Menacer within this, what do you call it? Line of vehicles, I guess you could say. I just recently figured out that exists, and I will not be purchasing it for the sake of the video. And it's a little bit sad, but the Menacer is like the least popular out of all four of these. Or these are what to be considered the most armored vehicles in the game. The most armored SUVs slash trucks. So, since the Minister is very unpopular, I've only seen one person own it. So due to that, it will not be reviewed, as it is probably really bad. I mean, it kind of has to be. I mean, the overall look of it seems like it'd be good, but nobody owns it, so that probably says something. So, for the sake of the video, only the Patriot Millspec, the Nightshark, and the Insurgent will be reviewed. So anyways, you know I stole this. I have to go to my agency garage. And so far as I'm aware, nobody else on YouTube has come up with this idea yet. My guess is because it's pretty much brand new. That's my guess. But, I don't know. It seems like a pretty good comparison to me. So anyways, let's head down to the second floor. I don't have that many vehicles, because they're all very expensive. But, so here you go. We have the Insurgent, the Patriot Millspec, and Nightshark. And these are the rest of the cars I have in here. I don't know why. That there is the podium vehicle, just so you're wondering. Now, since I cannot show all three of these vehicles running at the same time, I will, however, record how good these vehicles are. Actually, let's start off with like a basic thing. So top speed on the Insurgent Custom is around 3.5 bars. Acceleration speed is 98% through. Braking is a bar and an eighth full. The traction is about 3 full bars and a sliver of the 4th bar. Top speed, that's about almost 4 full bars. This has a better top speed, better acceleration, better braking, and better traction. So already, in terms of like vehicle use, the Nightshark seems to have an overwhelming advantage in like every category in terms of actual driving. Let's look at this. Top speed is 3.5 bars. Let's look at this. Yep. Acceleration maxed out, so they both have the same acceleration. This has the least amount of braking. Only about 3 bars of traction. So in terms of traction for the Insurgent is 3 bars and a sliver. This is a full 3 bars and a little chunk, and that's just 3 bars. Braking for that is 1 bar and a sliver. That's a full bar and a chunk, and then less than 1 full bar. maxed out acceleration, maxed out acceleration, and close to maxed out acceleration. 3.5 top speed, 3 and almost 4 full bars of top speed, and 3.5 top speed. So, I would say, general performance, the Nightshark seems to win out of all 3 of these vehicles. And I do believe this to be a fair comparison between the Insurgent. Even though this is the Insurgent Pickup Custom, I don't see a difference between the two other than this has a gun, and I don't think that affects the, the performance of the vehicle. I don't have the regular Insurgent. I sold that a while ago to get this. And I do believe it's a fair comparison to put this in place of the regular Insurgent, saying as I don't have it. So, this is a pretty accurate comparison of what it would be like. So, in terms of actual performance, the Nightshark would likely be the best. So, if you want, like, the best performing one out of all 3 of these, Nightshark is definitely the one. Now, talking about the most armored, I can tell you for a fact, this one is the least armored. Number 1 being, even though I put heavy armor on it, the windows are still pretty big. And this thing can take a few bullets. And the windows are pretty hard to shoot through. Like, if you're driving by someone and they're shooting you through your window, you'll probably survive because, like, the windows are pretty strong. These window slots are very small, and if you drive fast enough, no one's going to be able to shoot you. These are pretty much indestructible. Like, you can hardly shoot through these. In terms of, like, I don't know. Anyways, let me show you what I'm talking about. First of all, let's take the Patriot Millspec out first. Now, just a general look at this, I would say this definitely looks the best out of all 3 of them, but it definitely performs the worst out of all 3 of them. But it definitely does look the most professional in my opinion. Anyways, taking a look at this, park it right here. It's got semi-bulletproof windows, almost bulletproof, not quite. They're very bullet resistant, but after a few shots you will be killed. Now, in terms of actual armor, this, which I have watched in a different video, can take about 4 homing rocket missiles. 4 homing rockets, and I'm not going to test that because I don't actually have any homing rockets. So I don't have any homing rockets, but it can take around 4. You can search that out for yourself. So about 4, and it can take about 8 oppressor missiles. And so yeah, oppressor missiles and regular homing missiles are 2 different things apparently. And so for effectiveness, you probably want to use the homing launcher because it does twice as much damage as the oppressor missiles. But you might want to use the oppressor if you're trying to chase somebody down in this. But anyways, it's pretty bullet resistant. I mean, no matter how many times you shoot these things, it's never really gonna explode. Pretty bullet resistant besides the windows. So the car itself is bulletproof. The windows are definitely not. So yeah, this is definitely kind of, I don't know what you would call it, but likely the worst out of all 3 of the vehicles. Just because of how do you say it? Not good it performs. It does not perform very well. But it does look pretty nice. The one thing that would probably make this better is if it had a gun on top, but, you know, can't really do that. I don't know why not, but yeah, can't do that. So anyways, general performance, this is definitely the worst. Armor, also definitely the worst. Calling it the worst might make it sound like it's bad, but it's not really. Just compared to these other two, it's not that good. But anyways, yeah, it's a pretty nice car. I mean, definitely looks the best in my opinion. Like, these two look kind of, they all look pretty military style, but this just has like a old style, you know, GTA look to it, which pretty much everyone likes. Anyways, moving on to the Nightshark. So overall, this has the best performance out of all of them. So if you're trying to defend yourself against somebody attacking you, Nightshark would definitely be the best option. Yep, it's maxed out, not maxed out, but it does the best in all the performance categories. It definitely looks pretty nice, but yeah. This would definitely be the best for defense in my opinion, just because it's so freaking hard to shoot through the windows. As you can see, like if someone was trying to come up to you and shoot you out of your car, it probably wouldn't work. This is your weakness though. To get close enough, you're dead. But anyways, besides that, this is definitely, I would say, very... So anyways, there is glass on this, and once you destroy the glass, then you can proceed to shoot through the actual vehicle. So once the glass is gone, that's pretty much that. But yeah, so you have the glass defending you, so they can't quite kill you. And anyways, in terms of defense, this is definitely pretty good. Weapon-wise, mounted machine guns, they perform the same as the Millspec machine guns, which I forgot to show you, but the Millspec does have the exact same machine guns as for every other car equipped with these same exact machine guns, so really no need to show both of them. They can kill somebody, but like not very good. It's like for mild, it's very mild. It's a very mild offensive to the vehicle. So this vehicle is mainly defensive. Like if you're trying to get away to someone, or if you're trying to get like a group of people into a vehicle, and like not trying to get killed, this is definitely the best car for that. And definitely the fastest to get around. And the inside arguably looks the coolest to me out of all of these. And anyways, let's move on to the Insurgent. The way this can take up to about 30 missiles, 30 Oppressor Mark II missiles, so they end up wasting their whole entire bike missiles on it if they tried doing that. But chances are you'll probably be able to get to safety within like 5 or 6 homing missiles they shoot at you, because this thing goes pretty darn fast. Now let's go on to this. So the Insurgent is the only one out of these three that has a, what do you call it, a weaponized variant of itself. The other two only come stock with just the vehicle. And this is the only one out of the three that has a special weapon version of itself. And so, basically this is about the same thing, but just with a gun. And so the other two could carry up 4 people. This can carry up to about 6, only because of the back. On the regular Insurgent, it could only carry 4. So if we're comparing with the 3 original, you'd have 4. But on this, you could fit 6. So, it's great about that. And the armor's about the same as it was on the Nightshark. Pretty good. These all come stock with bulletproof tires, by the way, so I don't even need that to you. Anyways, it's an identical situation. The Nightshark is covering like the whole entire like door, as on this it's just covering the little hole. So it's a little bit more protected, maybe, possibly. Definitely looks a little bit more aggressive. Inside's pretty nice. This can also take up to about, they could probably take like 8, nah, not 8, probably like 12, what do you call it? 12 homing missiles. If someone's on foot using homing missile, take a solid 12 of these to destroy it, likely. 12 plus. No more than 15, likely. And same thing with the Nightshark. Has identical interior to the Nightshark. I only prefer the interior to the Nightshark, mainly because, you know, I just think it looks nicer. But, anyways, this is definitely pretty defensive. And I think, so this is not, it doesn't have as bad as performance as the Millspec. It's somewhere in between. It's got about the same armor as the Nightshark, and in my opinion, it has like the best value out of all of them. With, if you have like bunker research, I wouldn't get this if you don't have any bunker research, because I already had the bunker research while getting this. But prior to that, you would have to do lots of grinding on research, which is very, well, it's not fun to deal with. But if you already have the research for it, this would definitely be the best thing to get. So it definitely has the best value. Show the turret. So this vehicle is definitely more on the offensive side, and yeah. So let's get down to which vehicle is the best. Let's get down to it later. So this is just my personal opinion, but by analyzing what each of these vehicles has to offer, I'm going to come up with a conclusion on which one is the best. Alright. Okay, before I get into which one I think is the best, let's go into pricing so we can factor that in. Pricing, 1.75 million. Regular trade price is 1.2 million. Trade price pretty easy. 15 security contracts. Nightshark, the Nightshark doesn't have a trade price. It's just 1.2 million. So it's the cheapest price it goes. Insurgent is 1.7 million normally, and you can get it down to 1.3 million if you do something, which I have no clue what I even did to get it. But yeah, you can look at it on Warstock. So 1.3 for trade price, 1.2 trade price, 1.2 trade price. So this is definitely the more expensive option out of all three of these. So it kind of does make sense. It's kind of, it's not too incredible in the performance category, but it's also very armored and it's weaponized, making it seem like a perfect mix of armor and weaponization. So this would definitely be the most worth it for like an extra 100k. It's definitely very worth it, but it's probably going to cost way more than 1.3 million plus the upgrades. So forewarning, it's probably going to be like $2 million plus dollars, and plus the upgrades, I only had to do like 300k worth of upgrades here. So 1.5 mil, same here, like 300k worth of upgrades. So if you completely max them out like I did, 1.5 mil, 1.5 mil, and like 2 mil plus. So this will definitely be the most expensive out of the three, but it is pretty good out of the three. Not the best out of the three, obviously, but pretty good. So I have concluded that neither of these, not all three of these, none of these are the best. All of them are good in their own sort of category or sort of way. I mean, people probably would say the Insurgent's the best, but let's put this into consideration. A lot of people who play GTA like me are normally solo players, and so the offensive part of this vehicle, which is actually part of why it's so good, would be completely useless. So, I mean, if you do have friends and you're playing GTA like I am, and you have other people playing with you, this would probably be the best option because people can actually get on the turret and you can have some sort of offensive to it. But if you're just playing by yourself, or you're in a rush, or you're being like chased down and you can't fight him back, Nightshark, because like it can take just as much hits as the Insurgent can, and it can go a lot faster than the Insurgent can. So this is definitely better for defending yourself. This is probably good for attacking people. I have experienced a few times people using this to like run down the streets and just kill everybody. So this is more on the offensive side, definitely. This is more on the defensive side, and this really doesn't have better defensive or better offensive than either of these. So this is the worst out of them. It has the worst armor. Let me see. Technically, it does do better in one category compared to the Insurgent Pickup Custom, but mainly this has the worst performance out of all three. So, performance-wise, this would definitely not be the choice. Performance-wise, this would be the choice, and if you don't care about performance, like somewhere in the middle, this would be the choice. So this is definitely the worst. I probably wouldn't get it, but the thing it does have an advantage over all of these is, let me show you. Let's see. Where is it? Come on. Imani Tech. For a solid $400,000, you can get a missile lock-on system, which basically makes it so people can't lock on to you, no matter what they're using. But if the oppressor user has, which it will likely be an oppressor user, let's be realistic here, it's likely going to be an oppressor user trying to shoot you. This would probably be good if you know how to navigate, and most oppressor users, or most oppressor griefers, as I should say, likely don't know how to aim without the lock-on feature. Most people like me rely on the lock-on feature for pretty much everything. I don't grief, but I'm pretty sure griefers rely on it too. They would never take the time to use it without the missile lock-on feature, because they feel like they never have to. But with the new introduction of the anti-missile lock-on jammer, some griefers probably might want to learn how to do that. So anyways, this definitely has that advantage, and I would probably get this if you have the other two, like I do. Honestly, this was the last thing I bought. Well, this was the first thing I bought, second thing I bought, third thing I bought. I mean, I kind of bought them in order of age, but, you know, I bought this one a long time ago, this one a long time ago, and this one just now. And, if I were, like, a new player in GTA, deciding between these three vehicles, and, like, I just now started, Nightshark would definitely be my choice. Mainly because when you first start in the game, you don't know anybody, first of all, and you probably don't have that much money, and this definitely does fit a good budget, and it doesn't have a trade price, so you can just get this 1.2 mil straight off the bat, pretty good. You don't have a budget, and like if you're on a budget of like at least 2 mil and under, that's definitely good. And the only reason I'm not saying this thing is because this thing, I would say, is for at least some higher class players with some money, because this is going to be $2 million plus. And even though it looks like I have it maxed out, it's maxed out to the point where it's performancely maxed out, but in other categories it's really not maxed out. So this is like at least $2 million plus to be fully maxed out. So, to conclude, this would definitely be a good starter vehicle if you were choosing between the three. So that would definitely be a good one. But if you do have some extra cash and you don't yet own any of these three, this would probably be the best. It's kind of the best of both worlds. But if you kind of like military stuff and you think this looks cool and you just kind of want to drive around in it, kind of annoy people with the anti-missile lock-on feature, this would definitely be the best out of all three of them in that category. But other than that, this is definitely not worth it compared to these other two. I would only get this vehicle for fun if I were you. I wouldn't rely on this vehicle for any type of mission, any type of objective or anything. Purely a fun vehicle is all I would use it for. Probably for picking up people or just driving around, but that's about it. So in terms of actual value, this would probably be the best. And in terms of a budget and defense and speed, this would definitely be the best. And this is just for people who have lots of money that feel like spending it. So yeah, that is my concluded review of all three of these vehicles. And yeah, tell me if there's anything that I missed, and goodbye.